Hello again, everybody. I'm your host, Subimboya Arnold, and welcome to what promises to be our most intense elimination episode yet. This is Nedbank Pitch and Polish. Can you believe we're almost at the end of round one, and tonight's the night we'll fill the last two spots in our top 8. Now, we're only able to bring this competition, which is in its 15th year, to life because of some remarkable partners. There's Nedbank, who aren't afraid to back bold business dreams, Race Corp, who hones the pitches with precision, and the Business Exchange, where our contestants have the space to learn and thrive. They really are the backbone of the show, and we're incredibly grateful for their support. Tonight, we'll see the last two round one pitches. The yellow group has been exceptional so far, but only 2 can move to round 2. Kicking off tonight from the Northwest is Memphis Kaotsane of Moonshine Reflective Spray. Good luck in there, but Memphis.
Hi there, Memphis.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm nervous.
You're nervous.
Yes.
What's that you've got on the table there?
It's my product.
Which is what?
It's a reflective paint in form of a spray, and it's designed to make stray animal visible at night.
Okay, wonderful. Are you ready to pitch it?
I am. Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Memphis Kaotsane. I'm the founder and innovator of Moonshine Reflective Spray. So basically, as I mentioned, Moonshine is a reflective paint in form of a spray. It is designed to make stray animal visible at night. So our main objective is to reduce or at least avoid accidents that are caused by stray animals, especially at night, saving both human lives as well as animal lives. Our product is cost effective and extremely easy to use. You just need to spray the animal on both sides of the fur at the back so that the motorist will be able to spot the animal from all different angles. The motorist will be able to spot the animal 200 meters away where the headlights are on so that they can avoid collision. The paint will cling onto the animal fur for up to a maximum of 3 months, which gives value for money. We have worked with an SADS approved laboratory to ensure that the paint is non-toxic and harmless towards the animal fur. Our target market would be individuals who own livestock, informal farmers, insurance companies, as well as road traffic management operation. What we would do in the 650,000 trend is that we'll be able to purchase the production machinery, which will assist with packaging and labeling of the product.
Finish your sentence.
Which will assist with the packaging and labeling of the products, which will ultimately reduce the cost of production per unit by 10 rate. Thank you.
Thank you, Memphis. Okay, let's start with you, Monique.
Thank you. I think it's a brilliant product. I've
Thank
seen
you.
those crowds on your way to the Transkei, how they just park on the middle of the road. So I think it's great. Also think that for Labola, I think you can have such fun with it. You can make themed colored cows in shocking green. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I'm curious because you've been in business since 2018. Is it 2017, 2018?
2017.
2017.
Yes.
What's been your barrier to getting it into market?
Let me rather say that I registered the company in 2017, but obviously throughout the years I've had challenges with regards to capital injection. I come from the Northwest, which is in the middle of nowhere. So obviously there are a lot of hurdles to go through, especially with regards to lack of information, just by, developing your own prototype, first ever prototype. So I was fortunate enough that I came across a competition called the Northwest Innovation Competition, and it was in partnership with the Technology and Innovation Agency. As I think that was in 2019. That's when I was able to create my first ever prototype. But through the years, until I think it was in 2021 or 2021, if I'm not mistaken, then I applied for the SAB Foundation Social Awards, and I was shortlisted as one of the top 20. That's when I was given a platform to officially be able to take the product, rather say seriously, and turn it into a proper business.
How many units are you moving a month?
Currently, through individual informal farmers, about 500. But I've managed to collaborate with the Road Accident Fund, and I think they've ordered about 4,000 in the past 12 months. They've sponsored a few villages of their choice, especially in the Eastern Cape as well as KZN, and then they had a communication with NVA in Botswana, Namibia, as well as Swaziland, who are also interested in purchasing the product because they have similar problems with their own characters.
Thank you.
Nkubela?
Thank you, Memphis. Like Judge Monica, I really think that your product is the concept is compelling. There's a really high need to make our roads safer. And personally, as somebody whose uncle died in a car accident involving a stray animals, I would really wish for your product to be almost compulsory everywhere in this country. So my first question is, what is the active ingredient in your in the moon spray? What is it that makes the animals more visible at night?
The most active ingredient is the reflective beads, But those reflective beads, we have to outsource from China, because that's the only country where we are able to find them.
So you import the
Yes, because unfortunately we cannot find them anywhere in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard you say that it lasts for 3 months.
that is
So
correct.
once the spray is sprayed on the animal, it'll be effective for 3 months.
It will definitely be effective for 3 months. It could be more, but that will entirely depend on the weather. For example, if it's a rainy season, it might be 3 months, but if it's not raining, it can definitely be more than that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and how does that impact your sales? So it means once I buy a product, I only have to replenish every 6 months. I mean, or every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
Is that a good thing for your business? I mean,
It definitely gives value for money.
to the consumer, but to you,
It makes proper business sense,
it does.
because then basically means that I'll be able to retain my customer, definitely be aware of the product and the quality of the product.
Okay.
So then keep coming back every after 3 months.
So what will it take for you to sell more product? What do you need to do in order to sell more of your product?
Definitely, access to market is definitely a huge challenge. As I mentioned, but I have potential customers that I'm talking to currently. Hence, I'm saying that I would definitely like to approach insurance companies, because cars often sustain significant damages during this kinds of accident. I would also like to approach the Department of Transport and Community Safety, because they also have similar challenges, definitely a niche area for them, you know. If I can mention one example, the Minister of Education in the Free State passed away through an accident because he hit a donkey, you know. So I've had a few meetings with the Department of Transport, particularly in the Eastern Cape and the Northwest so far. So, but I definitely would like to expand to other neighboring countries as well.
It's not clear to me who your customer is. Is it the Department of Transport, the insurance companies, or is it the owner of the livestock? Or is it
Definitely the owners of a livestock.
Okay, so why do you need an intermediary to reach them?
I think it would make it much more easier, you know. Not all individuals who own livestock have the capacity to purchase the spray. Hence, I approach the road accident fund. So basically, what they do, because it's a reality that in most rural areas, you know, poverty is a challenge. Even though
How much is the spray?
it's 135 rand each.
So somebody who owns livestock cannot afford 120 rands over 3 months to protect their livestock, is what you're saying.
That's why I'm saying I'm particularly focusing on individuals who own livestock as well as informal farmers, you know, because most of those commercial farmers, you find that their livestock is safe because of the fencing around the farm. So I'm particularly focusing on the ones that are freely roaming around the house, especially at night, where there's absolutely no fencing.
Thank you, Memphis.
Memphis, most of my questions have been covered. Is there a registered trademark on the brand, or is there a patent on the product?
I've definitely done the patenting through a program that I was participating through the technology and innovation.
TIA. So when you were a TIA, they patented the product, and you own the patent.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I think we've got enough information. Thanks, Memphis. You may leave. Thank you. This makes me upset. It upsets me. This is a terrible story because it's patented. It's brilliant. You look at that product, and it looks like, you know, it was slapped together by, you know, in somebody's garage, which it probably is. The sticker looks terrible. There's no branding. So in this program, it takes it up to a certain point and leaves it there. That thing could be, it's not just a South African problem. It's a problem in rural areas across the globe. And he's got a patent on it, and he came up with it, and it lands up in that state. It just totally upsets me. It really upsets me. Oh, sorry.
That's all we have to say.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel you. So there's lots of opportunity, right? Because I mean, the need, the use case is there, the application is there. But for me, he also doesn't really know. He needs some help, guidance on who his customer is and how to reach the customer. I mean, yeah, because I feel
There's
like
so
he's not
much
targeting
opportunity.
the right.
Yeah, he doesn't know written here B2B or B2C.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have that in his strategy. But my point is, he's been on all these things. He's produced something. It's in that
And
can.
there's a real need.
And that can looks like, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a great brand. It's not beautiful. It doesn't look professional. It's got no international application. So I got it patented and got it through. That's our job. There's one more step to make it successful. Get it market ready. It's not, you know, that's not market ready. Yeah.
And he's been at it for 8 years.
8 years.
So, and he hasn't been able to. I mean, yeah, that is a bit, yeah.
And you've got all the tools. But it's a brilliant product. I really, really think it's brilliant. So,
Well, let's get scoring.
Is that tension relieved and released?
The tension is definitely released. definitely released. I feel so much better now.
Lighter.
Much more lighter. Way lighter.
One thing I can't deny is that the judges were interested in the origin of the product. Why? It's the why. And they kept on unpacking and packing on top of their questions. How did you feel about your pitch?
I think that my pitch went fairly well. Most of the essential questions were definitely answered.
Absolutely. Tell me about your relationship with your guide and your mentor. She's a bubbly lady.
Joanne has been a fantastic guide.
Yeah.
More especially when it comes to crunching of the numbers.
Yes.
She has definitely taught me a lot.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of loopholes
Yes.
that I need to attend to.
Lovely.
She's brilliant at what she does. Absolutely a guru.
Hey, guru, we'll leave it.
Financial guru.
I love it. Financial gurus right here on Nedbank Pitch Polish, and those are our guides. All the best going forward, Memphis. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you.
Give me.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now that's a simple but brilliant innovation that could have a massive impact on safety in rural areas. The judges loved the product simplicity and that it solves a problem, but there were concerns. Does Memphis have the strategy and market readiness to take it further? We'll find out the answer to that question later, but now let's see how our next contestant stacks up. From the Free State, let's welcome Chantelle de Bruyn of Buttercup Farmhouse. Take it away.
Hi, Chantel.
How are you, sir?
Okay, and you?
Well, thank you.
Good. What have you got there?
I was going to ask, since I'm the last competitor, care for a coffee break? Because it's about my presentation.
Okay, let's have a coffee break. Let's taste your product.
I'll explain in detail. If you can have the dry
thank you.
and then the liquid. Start on the dry
Thank you.
and then the liquid.
Thank you.
Smells divine. And then the liquid. So the packaging I'll keep over here for now.
Must we taste it? Or
Yes,
you...
please.
Okay.
Please. You can smell, taste the dry powder. That's the hot coffee liquid.
It's yummy.
It's very nice.
Nice, huh?
I like it.
Well, thank you for the coffee break. Are you ready to pitch now?
I believe so.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Hi judges, my name is Chantel and I am the founder of Buttercup Farmhouse, and we have created South Africa's very first vegetable coffee made out of actual veggies like the butternut that you just had. Now traditionally many love coffee, but due to other millions that are faced with health chronic illnesses like my precious grandfather who was diagnosed with liver and kidney infection due to all the caffeine that he's been consuming. Now as his diagnosis was a state of enemy to prevent him from having coffee that he completely loved. Now we've created a product that is a caffeine-free, rich alternative that is also naturally energizing and is also catered for people who love wellness in a cup. We are currently listed with Food Lovers Market on a national level, and we have also been given the opportunity to export our product through their channel in Namibia. Now last month in April, we also got listed with Massmart that is under macro and game nationwide. Now with this huge leap opportunity for our brand, we have a very good problem, which is a scaling problem, because we are currently outsourcing our external manufacturing, and this has been a limiting factor because we do not have production speed and to cater for the volume that our suppliers are looking for. With your precious investment, we are doing
You can finish the sentence.
with your investment, we will bring in-house production, which will allow us to scale our productivity at capacity level, also to employ.
No, just the sentence.
Oh, sorry.
Not the pitch.
It's okay.
You ran out of time.
Yes.
Your coffee did not bribe us.
And it's okay.
All right. Nkubela.
Hi, Chantel.
Hello, ma'am.
Well, thank you for that coffee break. I think not only is your coffee wellness in a cup, but it's also deliciousness in a cup. So it's very tasty. So thank you and well done on that.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm gonna be very nice. So what are you gonna do with the 650,000 rands? Can you just explain that?
Thank you for
Much
the
more clear,
question.
yeah.
So we're currently using external manufacturing, which is a limiting factor for us. With your investment, we will bring in-house production. This will allow us to increase our capacity and also to scale our staff at 5, because we're currently 4. So we will be able to increase and employ 5 more people with your investment. This would lead us to doing in-house production and not outsourcing.
Okay. So what will that do for your business? So you're going to increase in-source your production, and tell me more. What is that going to mean from your product? How much you're producing? How much now outsourced, and how much will you produce when you insource? And what will that do for your turnover and your profitability?
So with the business that started off with 10,000 Rand in our first year, we have scaled
10,000 rands turnover.
Yes, in our first year of business. This was without the Food Lovers Market supplies. And when we got listed, we just did over 1.1 million. And with the investment, we are projecting over 4 million with all the listings. Currently, we have production timelines with outsourced production. So sometimes we can't deliver on our purchase orders that we receive. So with in-house capacity, we will be in control of all our production levels and our logistics systems, and be able to employ more people so that the productivity is constant.
Okay. So your turnover is going to go from where to where?
So we started off
1.1 to 4 over 4.
Once with
we're projecting, yes.
Okay. In how long?
In 2025, 2026.
In this year. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Current financial year.
Okay. And without the investment, if you don't get the investment, how is your business going to grow?
So being listed is great, but how we will grow is based on very limited resources. So you'll only see traction within 6 months and another 8 months based on how quick the production level is at the external manufacturing side. So the growth pace will be very slow, but we'll eventually build traction. But with the investment, we will be able to grow at a much quicker and faster pace.
Sorry, you keep saying your business is listed. What do you mean?
Listed means that we are now supplying them in their stores.
They're a vendor.
A vendor.
On their
Supplier
database. They're listed as a vendor.
Ah, okay, because listed.
Yeah, if you're listed on the stock exchange.
Yeah.
No,
Not
not yet.
Butternuts.
Okay. And then just last question for me. So your coffee is very delicious. Your butternut coffee is very delicious. From a calorie point of view, if you compare it to coffee, how does it stack up?
So with we don't have any calories. If you check our packaging out, if you have a look at our packaging, it contains of all our nutrient analysis. And with caffeine, you get about 100 calories in your normal cup of caffeine. It just depends what brand and how the roasting is. With ours, it is a complete veggie that we roast. There's a scientific process that we undergo with our roasting. So it's caffeine free, and we have SAPs tested on it. We also have our nutrient analysis on it that contains all the good veggies.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great. I loved it. I agree with you. It's deliciousness in a cup. You mentioned that this is one of the products, so the butternut. You mentioned other veggies. So do you do other products?
We are currently in product development. So I'm a product developer. I specialize in crop production. We've tried beetroot and the likes, but we're currently undergoing cauliflower, as well as an energy drink made out of the very same product.
Okay, great. And then is there a milk additive to it, or
Yes,
is it just
the instructions tell you that use me with very hot milk, which will give you the creamy taste that you probably had. Your concentration could vary depending on what type of cup you use. We have all the instructions on you to give you the very best of the product.
Okay. And what is your margins per unit?
Per unit, we're currently making 3 Rand on a complete bag.
Packaged.
It's a 250 gram toy bag
At,
package.
at packaged level.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chantel, what is the price point?
So for
Retail?
cost,
Related
retail
to
selling
coffee?
at 99 Rand and
wha-
wholesale price we're selling at 68.
And what at 250? I don't know what the price of coffee at 250 grams would be. So just give me the relativity to coffee.
In terms of our competitive advantage,
What do you charge for 250 is 99. What does it retail for? What does coffee retail for at 250 grams?
so especially playing in the green plant-based space, you would find that we are competing very fairly with other brands. So our cost to make the 250 gram bag is 48 Rand.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh,
Okay. There's that's sitting on a shelf.
yes,
And it's selling for 99 Rand.
yes,
And it's a coffee substitute.
yes.
Then right next to it is another bag of coffee. That's 250 grams, real coffee.
Okay. I
What
can
is that
answer.
selling for?
So we fairly competitive, we very low.
So what
Your
would 250?
Nescafes would be 120 Rand
So
and
90,
your
okay.
Jacobs and them, they go for 129, 149.
And how many, I don't know if it's grams of coffee, caffeine versus coffee. I'm trying to get the oomph.
Okay, so with our brand, you do not get, so many people have the caffeine for the jitters and the get going. With our brand, I did mention that it's a natural product that gives you, it has a natural energizing ingredient to it.
What is that ingredient called?
We have the soya gum, the
Yeah.
xanthan gum, and the butternut on its own contains fiber, potassium A, vitamin A, B, and C.
But does it make me feel awake like coffee?
You can yes. Well, we've had testimonials. We get a lot of testimonials based
I'm
on
I'm trying to get to the point where you're saying it's a coffee substitute,
an alternative.
alternative, right?
Yes.
So to me, if you're telling the story about your grandfather and how he loved his coffee, and part of that is that he has his coffee and then he feels his eyes are open. I'm asking if he would feel the same way,
Yes, in a more healthier way.
but with his eyes open.
It'll pop out.
Somehow I don't believe that. Okay, your 5 staff, what do they do?
So we currently have myself, and then we've got an ops lady who deals with all the operations, and then we've got an administrator that deals with all the administrative logistics in the business. And then we also have in-house product developers that are currently developing the product for us.
Okay. All right, Chantel, I think we've got enough information. Thank you for the coffee.
Thank you.
Substitute.
I'll,
You may leave.
but it caters for caffeine lovers as well.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what did you think?
I love it. I just think it's such an innovative product. I would have loved to ask if she's got competitors in the space. I'm sure they must be.
The packaging is also brilliant, eh?
The packaging is brilliant.
Yeah.
Very tasty. Very yeah, I like it.
I like the product. I like her as well. She's and I like the fact that she's but I think she's still got a job to do. For me, I mean, she keeps saying it's a caffeine, but it would also be competing.
Alternative.
Yeah, it would also be competing, in my view, with the Ovaltines, the
Yes.
Milos, the
Yeah.
Horlicks. Because when it tastes delicious, smells delicious, but it didn't give me a coffee. It's a delicious hot
drink.
beverage.
Yeah, it's a
so you're
hot-
competing with Milo, with
Yes.
whatever, and I think it could, because it smells. I mean, we didn't ask her the question, but I think it could be for children as well, school children in schools, whatever. So there's wide application. I think she just needs to do a bit more work in developing the marketing, the story, the marketing story, the selling proposition. I don't know about things like shelf life. I mean, we didn't test all of those things.
It's a year, so on the package it's got it for a year.
What, a year?
Yeah.
And is that the same as like the others? I think the others are last a lot longer than that. The shelf like Milo and whatever, Ovaltine. I don't know. But anyway.
I've never looked
Yeah,
at it.
what I'm concerned about is where I was going at the end is if she's saying she's a coffee alternative, she's implying it's got the caffeine boost. That's the implication of that saying that. And if it is more like Milo, which is also an alternative to coffee, right? But so is tea, an alternative to coffee, and so is water. But is it giving you the caffeine boost? And that's what I was, or that boost that she didn't bring across.
I think she was looking for a personal hook. So for a brand story,
Yeah.
that was the personal hook.
Yeah.
But she needs to then say this is an alternative, a hot beverage alternative,
I think
an
it's a
aura,
hot, I mean,
and a
it's
healthy hot
wellness.
wellness in a
But I
cup.
don't know, that gum story doesn't sound too healthy to me. That remember that
Yeah, xanthium
saying,
gum,
that
whatever.
doesn't sound so healthy to me. All right, let's get scoring.
You did great. How do you feel? How do you feel?
I think I fairly did well. In between the pitch, my ears just went. There was like a buzzing sound in my ear. I couldn't hear what's next.
Was that because you were blocking things out, or you lost the zone, you were out of the zone? What does that mean?
I think it's trying to focus on what not to forget.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But
I had fun. I had fun.
I love that. Listen, there was definitely a passion because it's a personal story and it's a personal origins. That 90 seconds, could you have done better?
Faster.
Faster?
Yeah, and as opposed to getting it on time.
Yeah.
But there's definitely room to polish it.
Always. Tell me about your guide / mentor.
Mr. David has been a very supportive guy. He puts you on your toes. He is not a fly-by-night, I would say, but he's really honest.
Yeah.
And really wants the best for his contestants.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is you.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see and watch in awe and wonder the rest of your journey. Come on now, Chantel.
Thank
Let's
you.
believe in yourself.
Thank you.
Give me all the best.
Thank you.
Okay. Chantel's pitch was impressive. She's already landed some serious retail deals and the judges were wowed by the branding. But is it really a coffee substitute or just a new kind of hot beverage altogether? Big questions, but big potential too. All right, the pitches are done and now it's decision time. But remember when I said that tonight's elimination might be the most intense one yet? Well, let me see if I can help us find out what the judges are thinking. Hello, judges.
Hello, Phoebe.
Are you okay?
Good.
Perfect.
So that was 4 contestants of the yellow group. Let's start with the yummy stuff, which was Chantel, which made you lick your lips and fingers. Judge Alon, this is not the first time I've asked you the question, or if you've asked the question to the entrepreneurs, the difference between their product's price point and their competitor's price point. Why do you ask that specific question? What's the relevance behind it at this stage of the competition?
When you are entering a market with a different product, you are competing with established brands out there. People understand that price point. If you come in and you're comparative or slightly cheaper, people say, well, let me try. If it's comparative or more expensive, they might not try. So I'm trying to understand from a value proposition for someone to convert from a product that they have been using for years to yours. There needs to be some allure to it because there's brand trust issue. So that's what I was trying to understand is if she used the word alternative.
Yes.
So I want to understand if it is a real alternative or it could have been double the price and then it's really not an alternative.
Thank you for that. So enlightening. Judge Nongobela, Orion describes himself as a social environmental impact entrepreneur. What I loved about your question, How do you make money, especially in that space? What are your byproducts? This is your question. Who are your competitors? Why is that so relevant to you?
I mean, we are investors here, or potential investors in the business. It's critically important to understand where is the money made. We are not investing. We're investing in businesses, all right. We're not doing philanthropy.
Yes.
So we need to understand, as good as philanthropy is,
Yes.
and as much as I love philanthropy.
Yes.
But here it's businesses. We want to see what is the driver of the profit of the business. Is it just a once-off? Is it windfall? Is it sustainable? And how can we is it going to grow, or is it going to peter out? And it's critically important for the entrepreneur to understand that, to understand what is it that makes in this case, his business make money. You can't invest your money if you don't know where the money is going to be made or how it's going to be made.
Powerful, thank you. Judge Monique, you have a favorite, and that is barriers to entry, which is a solid question for any single entrepreneur. Specifically for Oscar in PECO PM Group, you asked him what were the competitors that he knew of, what were they doing better than him, and how could he close that gap if there were?
You know, entrepreneurship, a lot of people think it's an easy way to get money or to generate an income. And it certainly isn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of the entrepreneurs that have stood before us today have said, there's barriers. I need access to markets, or I need to create awareness. By coming onto a show like the Nedbank Pitch Polish, you are creating that awareness. And so people are learning about your product. They're learning that, okay, this is an option. And if you don't understand what your competitors are doing better than you, you're not going to close those barriers to entry quick enough. So you're not going to stay ahead of the curve. And that's what I wanted to know, is how are you identifying what other people are doing better than you are? And don't be naive and don't be an ostrich and say, well, I don't have competitors. Or, I'm better because. Yes, you know you're better, but what is the gap? Close that gap quickly so that when people start entering that market, you are 10 steps ahead, as it were.
Thank you so much for being so consistent in that specific question for these particular entrepreneurs, wherever they are in this competition. Judge Alon, the reflector spray, Moonshine. Trademark of the brand, patent of the product. What's the importance of that question?
Same like before, this is about moats. This is about being able to defend a competitor coming into the market.
Yes.
That's what you, as an investor, are wanting to make sure that, there are barriers to entry. It's the opposite of, a no barrier to entry. Patent is a very, very strong barrier to entry. It's not a foolproof, but it's a strong inhibitor. And so I'm trying to understand such a brilliant product.
Yes.
If you invest in it and it starts to take off,
Yes.
and you haven't got a patent, in 5 seconds, you'll have 20 competitors. I wouldn't want that as an investor.
So much to learn from all of you. Any insights you can give me about who's your favorite, who's going to stay, who's going to go at this point of the competition?
Have you ever got an answer from us?
Never. Okay, you see what I'm dealing with here. I hope you're getting the gist of the situation right here at Nedbank Pitch Polish. Who's going to stay and who's going to go?
Are there contestants? You've been waiting a long time. This Nedbank Pitch Polish 2025 is full of firsts. That is the longest time we've ever taken to come to a conclusion, ever, in the history of this 15-year program. There were a lot of rough debates going on. But anyway, we've come to a conclusion, and here it is. In no particular order, we'll go from, let's go from tallest to shortest. Let's try that. So who's the tallest? So, okay. Oscar, you come across incredibly authentic in terms of how you deliver. You were asked some very, very tough questions, and you answered, in my opinion, incredibly honestly to those questions. You've built those products I understand what it takes to build a product. You haven't built one, you've built many, many products there. And I sincerely believe that you are passionate about what you are doing. It comes across that you're passionate about what you're doing. On the negative side, which came up in the questioning, was barriers to entry were low. There are a lot of people, even though you were chosen, to be on the show, there were many other people who also with Moringa products that also came in here. But the way that you articulated it made you pop out from the rest. So although there are barriers to entry, I think you understand how to differentiate. You didn't bring any level of authority when you were pitching. You didn't come with an authoritative response. So when Nonkubela asked you questions around what is a superfood, you didn't go boom, 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 this is what it is, and then the 98 watt out of 104 watt. So you didn't come across as an authority. It felt like there was a lot of things going on, but you hadn't thought through the strategy of the business. And there's a sense when you were asked about what differentiated you between you and the other competitors, why they might have a better chance, it was that they had more products. The judges don't believe that is true, that often, it's an 80-20 rule, rather focus on a few products that have got good GP, good market demand. And the last point is that in this space, you kept speaking about we need to educate the market. If there's anyone who knows how expensive and how long it takes to educate a market, it's me. So, yeah, so those were the negative. The decision from the judging panel, Oscar, is that you will be going. Oscar, thanks for being on the show. You may leave. Who's the next tallest? Okay, let's see. It looks like you, Orion. Okay, am I right? Yeah, you are slightly taller. Okay. Positive, you did come across as an authority in your space. You spoke incredibly authoritatively in the space. You spoke about your MBA, and then you specifically linked that to the green economy. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's assume it is. I loved in your pitch how you asked for what you want. There's what's the ask. You asked for what you wanted. That was a very, very powerful way that you delivered. Judges, I'm looking for this. I need this is what I want, it was very clear as to what you wanted. And I wrote here a good-ish pitch. And the reason why I said a good-ish pitch, because if at one level, when you're listening to that pitch, there was a lot of information, but then it got confused in my head. There was a lot going on, and then you lost me at points. And then I was trying to think about what you were saying, because you shoved so much into there. So, and I know the context, so that's why I say good-ish. I think it could have been improved. I think your business model needs a lot of work. I think you've got those three opportunities, the three routes, and I would very much look from a strategic point of view is what's the number one, what's the number two, and what's the number three. I get that they're all sourced in a similar fashion, but I'd really focus on one at a time. And even as coming back to the pitch, as you deliver the pitch, deliver it at here's the opportunity one, this is how it works. Here's opportunity number two, this is how it works. Here's opportunity number three, this is how it works. And then I've ranked them according to how we're going to go to market. That's why I said it was a good-ish pitch. You confused me a lot in that. And your biggest mistake, I think, which really, really undermined you, you did not express the demand. You didn't tell us what the demand is. You told us who the buyers are, but you didn't go and say, but will they buy from you? Here, I can't keep up with the demand, or there's so much demand and I've got a supply issue, not a demand issue. Investors like supply issues. They hate it when there's no demand. And so I think you really lost a lot of points there. The decision around you is that, Orion, is that you will be staying. Okay. So now it's to the next two. All right. Memphis, you're the next tallest. Yeah, so I think that you come across as incredibly authentic as well. I think it's very important. You're unrehearsed, you come in, you're an inventor, and you've got a personal story and you solve the problem, and it comes across in your storytelling. The product, I think, is phenomenal, and there's more than one person in this room right now that has been impacted by a loved one being either injured or killed in the situation that you're trying to solve. So the product, I think, has got deep opportunity, not just in South Africa, but beyond. In fact, I think it's global. And I think the thing that impressed us most was the patent, that you've got the patent, which you got as an end result of working with TIA. On the negative side, and Memphis, you've been doing this for a long time. And the packaging to look as bad as it did, like we thought, what have you been doing for all these years? With all that help, that you produce a bottle like that with a packaging like that in a competition like this, and maybe that's why you didn't want to give it to us to see, because the packaging was so bad. And I can't understand after all these years why that's the case. And then, like in the strategy, there's a B2B, which is a business to business, or B2C, business to consumer. You were mixing us up in terms of, I think Nkubela was asking, so who's the market? Who's buying it? Is it the farmers, or is it these road agencies, or who's buying? Because who are you going to focus on? So, and that didn't come across. It was like whoever will buy, I'm happy. And then we looked at your numbers, and that was part of what took us so long. The majority, if I look at your sales thus far after all this time, it works out to around 10,000 Rand a month. Okay, that's not a lot of money. That's before cost of sales. So, like, what have you been doing? What have you been doing in all this time? And yeah, so if you do get through to the next round, there has to be here's the plan, this is what I'm going to do, because it feels like you're going from one program to the next, and just looking for the next opportunity. And even in your financials, you can see that. Then it comes to Chantelle. Chantelle, your story about your grandfather, and the caffeine story, you think about it, and I don't know, you've tried to tell a story. I don't know if I believe the story completely 100% in the way it was told, but there is a story there, and let's say that's a good thing. Your product is phenomenal. Like Memphis, what you two have got in common is phenomenal products. Your product is really, really, really good. Your packaging, unlike Memphis, is phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. And it really, if I was seeing that on the shelf, I would say, what is this? On the negative side, your margins are not there. Your margins are very, very low. And when we looked at your numbers, we saw that you've got no salary, you've got wages in your financials, but you don't have salaries there. So it's a false number, and this show is not about how well you present. This show is about, what's real. You've got massive concentration risk, and I like the fact that you've now got a second opportunity. It hasn't realized in the numbers as yet. But you've got concentration risk. If you lose one of those retailers, you're out of here. And then I don't really, I couldn't get my head around, and you saw where I was going at the end with a caffeine alternative, right? You say, coffee alternative. But what is a coffee alternative? So I was going, well, what is it that is the alternative? It's not the taste. It doesn't taste like coffee. It tastes more like Milo or Ovaltine or something. It's beautiful. It's really, really delicious. It doesn't taste like coffee. And so I thought, well, maybe it was the boost. So you didn't get to come across and say, but it gives you this boost and this is what it does. And I try to give you that opportunity, but you didn't take that opportunity. And I think you were afraid to say it because it might not have been so true. And then maybe my last thing is that the numbers in terms of the 1.1 million in sales, that goes onto the shelf. But the question for me is, as somebody who's been around, is what comes off the shelf. It's not what goes on the shelves. It was what's coming off the shelves into the consumer's hand. So now I've got a dilemma between the two of you, who stays and who goes. Great products, terrible packaging, beautiful packaging, no sales, great sales, no margin. And that was what the dilemma was all about. We spent an hour debating, the two of you. The person who will be leaving Nedbank Pitch Polish 2025 is Chantel. Chantel, before you go, I want to offer you a second chance in that I'm going to ask you to continue with the guide that you have for another 3 months to try and get you the kind of support that you need, particularly around the finance side and getting your margins. Your margins aren't right for retail. And so I really want to support you. I think you've got a great product. But the judges have spoken and you may leave. To the two of you, I think what's important is to you and to your guides to listen to what the feedback has been. We want to see a different pitch next time. This is about polishing your pitch, not about the same pitch again. If we hear the same pitch again, you're out of here. So take the feedback, come back, polish your pitch, and see you in the next round. You may leave.
What a tough choice for the judges, and I don't envy them one bit. Congratulations to Orion and Memphis, who round out our top 8 and will pitch again in round 2. Throughout the series, we've been walking a journey with these brave entrepreneurs as they learn the art of pitching, refine their ideas, and work one-on-one with top entrepreneurial mentors from Race Corp. As a viewer, you're not just a spectator, you're also part of this journey of growth. And tonight, you've seen firsthand how much thought goes into the judges' decisions. And remember, these choices could change the course of an entrepreneur's life. All right, time to switch gears from pitches to prizes. Have you been paying attention? Well, it might be about to pay off. Here's your question and your chance to win that 5,000 Rand Avo Super Shop voucher courtesy of Nedbank. Memphis's reflective spray makes animals visible from how many meters away? Memphis's reflective spray makes animals visible from how many meters away? Know the answer? WhatsApp it along with your name to 071 802 6981 before midnight. We'll draw one lucky winner from all the correct answers and be in touch with them. We'll also post the winner's name on the social media later this week. It could be you. And just like that, round 1 is done and dusted. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m., 2 contestants will step back into the spotlight with more polished pitches and a fresh chance to secure the 650,000 Rand cash prize and the 350,000 Rand bursary for a Race Corp incubation program. Until then, I'm Khubimboya Arnold. Good night. Mwah. Mwah.
I think it's been a great opportunity. Also feeling that you've been given a second chance says something that they actually think there is something to work with.
I took the feedback very seriously. I know that it's going to build my business. So I'm not heartbroken. Well, what's the worst that could happen? I came in here with that intention that, the worst that could happen, you leave here with good insights, valuable information. I mean, you're not going to die. So I feel great about it.